I've managed the integration of 46 mergers and acquisitions over the last 30 years. Today I will talk about why a human-centric approach to M&A integration is the only guarantee of success, because a purely value-driven approach neglects key aspects of human motivation and contribution. After all, it's people that generate the numbers. Hello, I'm Tom Kessler, and this is my Oxford Talk. Let me take you into the hidden world of post-merger integration, into a world hidden behind a suit. It was one of these beautiful, beautiful Indian summer days, blue skies, and the leaves had changed into all colors of red, orange, and yellow. We just flew from Newark, New Jersey into Green Bay, Wisconsin, to meet with a client. Albany International had acquired the company Geshme, and we were asked to help them capture the synergies. As I informed the plant manager's assistant that we had arrived, she opened his door and invited me to enter into his office. He got up behind his desk, flounced towards me, I assumed to greet me. As he came closer, he opened his jacket, pulled out his tie, and bam! He took his tie, stuck it into my face and said, "This, Mr. Kessler, is what I think you're doing here." It was a Mickey Mouse tie. Anger, rage crept up in me. I was here to help and nothing else. And then I heard myself saying with a stern voice, "Well, why don't you call your finance director while we wait in the nearby conference room?" What had happened? Well, we had failed to implement the first part of the human-centric M&A integration approach. We had missed to conduct a proper executive alignment. An executive alignment is one of three key events that guarantees the success of any integration. Its objective is to provide orientation of why the deal is done and to reflect on how the entire management team can and should contribute to the joint possibility and success of the deal. In addition, it addresses how to diffuse anxiety and fear of any stakeholder. Simply said, we want to move everyone's mindset from a defensive "why me" to a constructive "how can I help?" Let's go back to the story I told you about earlier. During a proper executive alignment, the senior leadership team of Albany would provide orientation to the entire management, that of the acquirer and the target, by explaining why Albany is buying Geshme, and answer the even bigger question how Geshme would and could contribute to the growth and strategy of Albany, essentially placing key messages on what to focus on. They would also explain how the project would be governed and which work streams and key projects were identified. Specifically, who would be supporting which work stream, and thus have the opportunity to directly influence and contribute to integrate both businesses. Lastly, the senior leadership team would explain the narrative of the deal, what it would mean for the future of the joint companies, and how to communicate this to all stakeholders, employees, customers, and suppliers alike, to achieve one thing and one thing only: eliminate anxiety. As a result of the executive alignment, you will notice that the entire management team will be aligned on the understanding of the why of the transaction. This understanding is essential for the next key event, the WeekOne. A couple of months ago, I was at a concert. The conductor Alexandra Ricci directed the Antwerp Philharmonics performing Brahms' Hungarian dance. And all 20,000 attendees started to clap. However, there is a section where you must stop clapping, but many of us did not realize this. So Alexandra Ricci turns around and starts to conduct us, to direct us. And when the time came to stop clapping, she had silenced the entire stadium. Her approach to the situation created not only engagement, it created the audience to buy in, to become part of the performance. And this is exactly the objective of the WeekOne event. The WeekOne event enables the workstream teams to build on the understanding of the why for the deal and starts the process of defining the how both firms will be integrated. Ultimately, creating buy-in to the integration plan throughout the entire organization. An event of this importance needs careful preparation beforehand. Based on due diligence information, a charter for each workstream, such as go-to-market, HR, or finance, is developed. Each workstream charter will define its objective, its end-state vision, and the integration approach. It's also important to think about what not to do. As Steve Jobs famously said, focus is not about saying yes. Focus is about saying no. Furthermore, project briefs will be defined for each major project within a set workstream. They show the milestones, needed analysis and decisions, and also define potential risks. And lastly, and this is important, just a handful of key activities to perform. Based on this preparation, the workstream members will be chartered over 2 intense days to take apart everything that they have been provided. They're asked to add, change, throw out any idea that was given to them. In this process, they will fight, they will laugh, they will challenge each other, they will have tough conversations, all with one objective: to create a solid integration plan that everyone has been deeply engaged in and bought into. After these 2 intense days, everyone comes together to see what everyone else has done and to fully understand what their contribution is to the overall company-wide integration. At this stage, the human-centric approach to integration has enabled the entire management team to engage, grow together, and make the integration their very own. As a result of everyone participating, crafting the how sets the direction for the future. The third event in structuring the human-centric M&A integration is the synergy working session. It's all about prioritizing how to create value. And yes, rest assured, specifically how to create value requires a human-centric approach to be successful. Many years back, we visited the Canadian part of Lake Huron. Lake Huron has these large boulder beaches. Who knows what a boulder beach is? I didn't know what it was either until I stood in the middle of it and realized to get from point A to point B, you need to jump from one big boulder to the next, to the next, to the next. Because in between, you only have small pebbles. And there is no way you can rest your foot and get a firm grip on such small pebbles. It's the same in M&A integration. You need to keep the day-to-day business running. This is your focus. And yet, you also need to focus on the integration. Doing everything will end in overwhelm. People getting sick at first, and ultimately, they may even jump ship. Now, using a human-centric approach requires you to use the strategy from the Boulder Beach. You will need to define the big rocks, the important synergies, and only focus on those that you prioritize. This is the reason why it typically takes about 6 weeks before we initiate the synergy working session. It just takes time for the workstream teams to collect, analyze, and curate the necessary information and to build or revise the synergy business cases. The synergy working session provides a platform to present those synergies that will move the needle. Because everything else will create overwhelm and will ultimately destroy value. The task of the senior leadership team in conjunction with the workstream teams is therefore to define which synergies will ultimately be implemented. In other words, what is going to be in focus. Only if you're clear on your priorities and your focus can you generate momentum, and that's paramount for a successful M&A integration. Summing up, this tripod human-centric approach to M&A integration enables, through the executive alignment, a solid understanding of the why for the transaction. This is such an important starting point, as it lays the foundation for everyone to engage and move their mindsets to how can I help? The WeekOne enables the entire management to become fully engaged, to buy into the integration plan that they have shaped and crafted themselves. This is essential to thrive as a team and very important as it provides the how, the direction of the integration. And finally, the synergy working session enables the entire company to know its North Star, the what of the integration. It enables the shift from a purely value-focused approach to a human-centric approach, and thus provides a proven idea worth doing. So off to the boulders, on to the Oxford class, and forget the pebbles. Thank you very much.